everybody, and welcome to the Display Photographic group. Thanks for joining me. Tonight, or today, we are talking about putting text on photographs in Lightroom. So that's what I'm going to show you and try and make it as simple as possible. So normally you'd import a photograph into Lightroom, or very possibly it'll be in one of your in one of your files here, one of your folders on the drive. So this is some pictures I took in Devon last year during a period when we weren't locked down, and I've chosen this one of the coast path symbol with a lovely coast behind, and here it is. So it's in my library. So normally we would go to Develop tab and make some changes. I've already dealt with this, but obviously all the normal things that you would do over this side. So I'm just going to toggle the exposure to show you. So you'd be dealing with something over this side until you get to the situation of how you want it. So you've done library and develop. You now go to the print tab. This will bring up this borderline, and the two things I'm looking at is the identity plate and the copyright plate. Let's look at copyright first. Copyright is normally when you're going to put some details on the bottom. So I've actually got a gentleman's name here that I used when I was first trying to work this out. But more likely you would have at copyright at David Waters in this particular case. You can edit that watermark the way I've just called there. And if you click on it in the picture, you can see that you can make this large. You can change the size in the edit tab. Now it has a shadow. I think this one had a slight shadow. But if you go to offset, you can watch the shadow come up above it. Not that that's what I want, but when you click save, it will give you a chance to name a new preset. So let's just name this copyright shadow and create it. Click on create, and across to the right under there you will see copyright shadow. So by using the watermark, you can put a couple of different things in the files there. So this one is now going to be called copyright shadow if I ever get to use that. It does appear in that bottom left. So what I would suggest is go to the identity plate, and this is where I've actually got my name, David Waters, in the identity. And similarly, you can move it in and out, and you can move it left to right. And if you edit this box, anything you type in here becomes the identity plate. So let's go to Word, or I could write something in Word or in the notepad, or write directly into the identity plate. So let's type something. Let's type not here. Click here and it will appear. It can be moved down the bottom if that's nice and clear for you, on the picture itself, and you can change colour. So let's just change it to a, what are we changing it to? We'll change it to a blue or green. It's very easy to format something and place it above or on your photographs. The identity plate seems pretty straightforward. You may want to use Word. Let's type in the Display Photographic group and highlight it. Control C to copy. Click on Edit in the identity plate, and Control V will place it in that box. Click OK, and there it is there, ready to be grown to the size that I need it. Up, down. You can, again, You can change the opacity and the size from that as well. But as I showed you before, you can click on the item itself and change it. You can also put it behind the image. Not that I'm sure how that's going to work. So there you are, the display photographic group is in there. Let's edit it in a different way. If you click in the middle here and press Control and Enter on the PC, it will move down the line. You can change the font, although I don't think I've done that there because I've not got it highlighted. But it's now in a slightly different format. And again, this can be moved around. That's Word. This is Notepad. Similarly, we can do things in Notepad. So I've gone to this website and I've just copied a quote to do with photography by James Wilson. Again, Control C. Back to my identity plate and in Edit, Control V to place it and press OK. And there it is. Now it's rather small. It's not going to be large enough, I wouldn't have thought. But you can place it centrally. It looks fine, but it's not going to be large enough for someone to read. So we need to do something about that. Now, one way is to click in the identity plate like I did before. Oh, in this case, what I'm moving is the writer's name. You can see if you change things by spacing in the identity plate. I'm just pressing the space bar to move his name across. And eventually you would get there. You can see you would get there to where you it would be nicely situated. But going back to Notepad, what you can do in here is similarly cut it in the middle to move it down and move it across again with the space bar. I think also I'll move it down by pressing Enter there to get some space. If you change font in Notepad, you can see it changes the whole font. So just highlighting James Wilson won't actually do what I was hoping it would do. I thought I could change part of it, but it looks like we're stuck with the whole font. Now let's copy that across now with James Wilson at the end. Click on Edit, Control V, press OK. And I actually like it spanning the top of the photograph there with one name in. Now looking on desktop, nothing's changed. So in the print module, if you go down to print to file, this is where you could actually print the picture directly. But what it first enables you to do is save it where you'd like it to be. So I'm going back to my Devon folder. I'm going to give this a name for this particular JPEG. Text on sign, click Save. And top left, now you will see that it will save. It tells you it's preparing it up there. It does take a few seconds. And we're done. And let's have a look in my folders. Go back to Devon. It's not in that one, it's in that one there. Text on sign, double click, appears. This can now be, this is a JPEG that can be saved, sent and dealt with turn into posters to sell at the market. Good luck with all that. Hope that was simple enough. That is how to get text on photographs within Lightroom. Good night.